Ladies and gentlemen, comrades, today we gather here for the celebration of the 40th anniversary of Shenzhen and other special economic zones to summarize experience in the development of special economic zones, press ahead with reform and opening up at a higher level, mobilize the whole party, the whole country, and the whole society to unite and work hard for the construction of a modern socialist country and the realization of the second centenary goal. The establishment of special economic zones is a great move made by our party and our country to promote reform, opening up, and socialist modernization. In December 1978, the third plenary session of the 11th CPC Central Committee made a historical decision to shift the focus of the work of our party and country to economic development and start the journey of reform and opening up, and to mobilize the whole party and people of all ethnic groups throughout the country to start a new long march for socialist modernization drive. In April 1979, the then head of the CPC Guangdong Provincial Committee proposed to leaders of the CPC Central Committee the establishment of export processing zones and the promotion of reform and opening up. Comrade Deng Xiaoping indicated clearly that special zone would be a better name. The CPC Central Committee could offer some policies, and people from these areas would be free to choose what to do to blaze a new trail. In July 1979, the CPC Central Committee and the State Council approved that Guangdong and Fujian provinces would be forerunners by adopting special policies and flexible measures and piloting special export zone. In August 1980, our party and country approved the establishment of 4 special economic zones in Shenzhen, Zhuhai, Shantou, and Xiamen. In April 1988, our party and country approved the establishment of Hainan as a special economic zone, pointing out that special economic zones should serve as important windows and examples of China's reform, opening up, and socialist modernization drive. For a long time, under the strong leadership of the CPC Central Committee, with support from throughout the country, the special economic zones have emancipated their minds for reform and innovation, fulfilled their missions, and these pioneers and tide riders have written a splendid chapter in the construction of socialism with Chinese characteristics, and have made important contribution to our reform, opening up, and socialist modernization drive. Ladies and gentlemen, comrades, Guangdong is the vanguard, pioneer, and experimental zone of China's reform and opening up. The province was the earliest established and the largest number of special economic zones. Shenzhen, as a brand new city created by our party and people since reform and opening up, is a splendid drawing of socialism with Chinese characteristics on a piece of blank paper. Working through difficulties and hardships, officials and people in Shenzhen have completed a journey within 40 years that would have taken around 100 years to finish by metropolises from other countries. This is a miracle created by Chinese people in the history of world development. In the past 4 decades, Shenzhen worked relentlessly to emancipate and develop social productivity and promoted vigorously scientific and technological innovation. Its regional GDP rose from 270 million yuan in 1980 to 2.7 trillion yuan in 2019, an annual growth of 20.7%. Its economic aggregate now ranks the 5th among Asian cities. Its fiscal revenue increased from less than 100 million yuan to 942.4 billion yuan. The city has achieved a historical leap from a backward remote town to a metropolis with global influence. In the past 4 decades, with its adherence to emancipating the mind and advancing with times, Shenzhen took the lead in carrying out market-oriented economic system reform and pioneered in adopting over 1,000 measures of reform, creating an epic with concrete actions and hard work. Shenzhen has achieved a historical leap from economic system reform to deepened reform in all aspects. In the past 4 decades, with its adherence to both bringing in and going global, Shenzhen has actively utilized international and domestic markets and resources and has actively attracted global investment. Shenzhen's import and export volume rose from $18 million in 1980 to $431.5 billion in 2019, an annual increase of 26.1%. With these, Shenzhen has realized a historical leap from import-export trade being the mainstay to opening up at a high level in all aspects. In the past 40 years, with its adherence to the development of socialist democratic politics and its respect to people at the center of all of its work, Shenzhen has strengthened the development of socialist spiritual civilization, actively cultivated and practiced socialist core values, and as a result, the city has realized a historical leap from economic development to coordinated development of socialist material civilization, political civilization, spiritual civilization, social civilization, and ecological civilization. In the past 4 decades, with its adherence to the people-oriented philosophy, Shenzhen has made remarkable achievements in enhancing people's livelihood and has realized transformation in education, healthcare, housing, and other sectors. In 2019, Shenzhen's per capita disposable income reached 62.5 thousand yuan, increasing by 31.6 times on the 1985 level. Leading in achieving the target of comprehensively building a moderately prosperous society, Shenzhen has made a historical leap from subsistence to achieving high-quality, comprehensive, moderately prosperous society. 40 years in the past have witnessed flowers in spring growing into fruits in autumn. I still remember the groundbreaking sound in Shekou in the early days. Now, Shenzhen, a special economic zone with great vitality, is showing to the world the power of China's reform and opening up, and the bright future of socialism with Chinese characteristics. What appears to be usual may turn out to be just the opposite. Success and achievement never come easy. Each and every step made by Shenzhen and other special economic zones in their development is not easy. It is the result of their hard work. The achievements are the result of the strong leadership of the CBC Central Committee, the result of the pioneering work of officials and the general public, and the result of extensive support from people throughout the nation and from all sectors. Here, on behalf of the CBC Central Committee, the State Council, and the Central Military Commission, I would like to extend my sincere greetings to the builders of special economic zones, to all comrades that have contributed to the construction of special economic zones. I would also like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to all the guests and friends from home and abroad that have cared about and supported the development of special economic zones.
Ladies and gentlemen, comrades, the successful practice of Shenzhen Special Economic Zone and other special economic zones has fully proven that the strategic decision made by the CBC Central Committee is correct. The special economic zones should not only be continued to be run, but also be better run and run to a higher level. Shenzhen and other special economic zones, with the past 40 years of practice of reform and opening up, have achieved great miracles and accumulated valuable experience, and deepened our understanding of rules in building a special economic zone of socialism with Chinese characteristics. First, we must adhere to the party's leadership and maintain the right direction of the development of the special economic zones. Second, we must adhere to and improve socialism with Chinese characteristics, and make it even more mature and better established through reform. Third, we must carry out development
坚持敢闯敢试，
with the courage to break the ground and to be the
思想
first,
破冰，引领
so that
改革突
we
围。
could continue to lead the reform with
四是
breakthroughs,
必须
with
坚持
innovative
全方
thinking.
位对
Fourth,
外开放，
we must adhere to the opening up in all-round way
引进来的
and
吸引力
enhance the
和走出
attractiveness
去的
of bringing
竞
in
争力。
and the competitiveness of going global.
五是
Fifth,
必须坚持
we
创
must
新
是
persist
是
in
领动
innovation
力。
as the primary
在
driving
全
force
球科技革命和产业变革中赢得主动
and to
权。
gain the lead in global scientific reform and industrial reform.
六是
Sixth,
必须坚持以
we
人民
must
为
adhere
中心
to
的发展思
people-oriented
想，
approach in development
让改革发展成果
so
更多
that
更公
the
平
achievements of reform and development could benefit more people in a fairer and more equitable way.
七是必须坚持
Seventh,
科学立
we
法
must adhere to scientific legislation, strict
公正司法
law enforcement,
全
justice,
民守法
and universal law
使
abiding,
法治成为经济特区
and
发
make
展
rule of law
重要
the
干
essential guarantee of the development of special economic zones.
八是必须践
Eighth,
行绿水青山就是金
We
山
must
银
follow
山
the
的
philosophy of
理念
lucid water and large
实现
mountains
经
are
济社会和
invaluable
生态
assets
环境
to realize
全面
comprehensive,
协调
coordinated,
持续发展
and sustainable development in economy, society, and ecological
九是必须
environment.
全面
Ninth,
正确贯
We
彻
must comprehensively and accurately implement the basic principles of one country, two
促
systems
进内地
to
香港、澳门
promote
融合发展，
inclusive and mutually reinforcing development among Chinese mainland, Hong Kong, and Macau.
十是
Tenth,
必须坚持
we must
在全国一盘棋中更好发挥
play a
经济特区
leading
附设
role as special economic zones in a nationwide blueprint
做出贡献。
and make due contribution for national development.
以上十条是经济
The
特区
above
40
10
年改革
issues
开
are
放
the valuable
创新
experience
发展
accumulated
积累
by
的
special economic
宝贵
zones
经验
during the past 40 years of reform and opening
是
up.
新时代经济特区建设对新时代经济特区建设具有重要
These
指导
are
意义。
significant guidance to the development of special economic zones in a new era.
在
We
实
must
践
cherish
中
it, continue to adhere to it,
和发
and
展。
constantly enrich and develop it in practice.
女士们、先生们、
Ladies
同
and
志们
gentlemen, comrades,
当今世界正经历百
the
年
world
未有之
is
大变
undergoing
局。
profound changes never seen in a
新冠
century,
肺炎疫情全球大
and the
流
COVID-19
行
pandemic
使这个大变
is
局加速，
accelerating this whole process.
经济全球化遭遇逆流，
Economic globalization
保护主
is
义
facing
单边主义
reversing
上升，
trends with
世 界
rising
经济低
protectionism
迷，
and
国
unilateralism.
际贸易和投资大幅萎
The world
缩，
economy is weakening with decreasing
国
international
际
trade
经济
and
科
investment.
技
International economy, science and technology, culture, security and politics
都在
are
发生
all
深刻
undergoing profound adjustments.
世界进入动荡变革期，
The world has entered a transformation period with turbulence.
我国正处于实现中华民族伟大复兴
China is
的
now at the key stage of the great rejuvenation of the Chinese nation.
经济已由高速增长阶段
Our economy
转向
has
高质量
transformed from
发展
a
阶段
phase featured by high-speed growth to one
中国
featured
社
by
会主要
high-quality
矛盾
growth.
发生变化，
Our society is
人民对
undergoing
美好生活的
profound
要求
changes with
不断提高，
people's growing needs for a better life,
经济长期向好，
long-term positive economic
市
trend,
场空间广阔，
vast market potential,
发展韧性强大，
and resilient development drive.
正在形成以 国内大循环
We are
为主
forming a new development pattern with domestic economic cycle playing a leading role, while international and domestic cycles mutually reinforce each other. At the same
我国
time,
经济
our economy
正处在
is in
转
a
变
critical
发展
period
方式
of transformation
优
of
化
development
经
modes,
济结构
also optimization
转换
of
增长
economic
动
structure
力的
and
攻关期，
shifts in driving forces.
实现高质量发展
To achieve high quality development,
短板。
we still need to improve a lot.
经济特区发展
And the development of special economic zones
困难
is faced with difficulties and challenges.
新形势需要新担当、
The new
呼
era
唤
calls for
新作为。
new responsibilities and new endeavors.
新时代经济特区建设
In the development of the special economic
要
zones in the
高
new
举
era,
中国特色
we
社
should
会
hold high the great banner of socialism with Chinese
统筹
characteristics,
推进
comprehensively promote the five-sphere integrated
协调
plan
推进四个全
and
面
the
战
four-point
略布局，
comprehensive strategy.
从我国进入新发展阶段大局出发，
We have to keep in mind the overall initiatives of our countries in the new development stage and implement
紧
new
扣
development
推动
concept.
高质量发展，
We should promote high quality development,
以
shape
一往无
new
前的
development
奋斗
landscape,
姿态，
and
风
in the
雨无
spirit
阻
of
的精
unswerving
神状态，
efforts,
改
with
革不停
readiness
的
to brave
开放
difficulties,
进步
we will continue to reform and opening
在
up.
更高起点上推进
We will promote reform and opening up at a
推
higher
动经济特
starting
区工
point
作，开创新局
and
面
to open up new prospects
为
for
全
the
面
work
建
of
设
special
社会主
economic
义现
zones,
代化国家，实现
to make
第二个
new and greater contribution in the building of a modernized socialist country
更大
and the realization of the second centenary goal.
党中央对深圳改革开放创新发
The
展
Central Committee
寄予
has
厚望。
high expectations towards Shenzhen's reform and opening up,
去年8月
innovation and development. In
党中央
August
出台了
last year, the
支
CBC
持
Central
深圳建设
Committee issued
中国特色
the
社会
guidelines
先
on
行
supporting
示范区
Shenzhen
的
in
理念
building a pilot demonstration area of
全面部署
socialism
了
with Chinese
有关工作
characteristics. It is with comprehensive
深圳
instructions.
要建设好中
Shenzhen
国特色社会
is
主
to
义
build
先行
itself
示范区
into a pilot demonstration area of socialism with Chinese characteristics,
城市
and to
范例
become a model city
提高贯
of
彻
a
落
great
实
modern
新
socialist
发展理
country.
念、能力和水平
Shenzhen should enhance its capacity and
形成
level
全面
in
深化
implementing new development concept
全面
and persist
扩大
in
开放
deepening reform
新格局
comprehensively and expand opening up
推进
unswervingly.
粤港澳大湾区建设，
Shenzhen should also promote the development of
丰
Guangdong,
富
Hong Kong, Macau,
一
Greater
国
Bay
两
Area
制事业
and
发展新实
enrich
践
the new practice of one
率先
country,
实
two
现
systems.
社会主义现代化，
Shenzhen will also take the lead to realize
这是
socialist
新时代
modernization.
党中央
This is the historical mission of Shenzhen given by the CPC Central Committee in the new era. First,
坚定不移贯彻新发展
unswervingly implement the new development
广
concept.
东、深圳
Guangdong
经
and
济发展
Shenzhen's
水平较
economy
高
is comparatively
面临
developed.
的资源要素约
Hence,
束
they face more restrictions on
受到
resources
来自
factors
国际
and greater pressure of
技术人才
global
等
competition
竞争
in
压力
technology, talents, and others.
落实新发展
Therefore,
理念，
the implementation of the new development concept for high quality development is a fundamental way out.
要坚持发展是第一要务，
Development is our primary task.
是第一资源，
Talents are our number one resources,
是第一动力。
and innovation is the top driving force.
质量变革、效率变
We
革，
need to take the lead in promoting transformation in
努力
quality,
实现
efficiency, and driving force, so as to achieve higher quality development that is more efficient,
更可
fair,
持续、
and sustainable
更为安全的发展。
and secure.
要坚持供给侧结构性改革这
We
条
need to
主
stick
线，
to the supply side structure reform as a major component
分配
and to leverage resources of production, distribution, circulation, and consumption in domestic market.
提升
We need to improve
供给体系对国内需求
supply
的
compatibility for domestic demand,
以高质量供给满足日益升级的
so that we could meet the growing needs of domestic market with high quality.
要坚定不移
We need to unswervingly implement innovation-driven development strategy
培育新动能，
to foster new
提升新势
engine
能
and new trend
建设具有全球影响力的科技
so as to build a technological and industrial innovation high ground with global influence.
要围绕产业链部署创新
We
链
should deploy innovation chain according to industrial chain
布局
and
产业
align industrial chain with innovation
前
chain.
瞻布局战略性
We should plan in advance strategic emerging industries, cultivate future
发展
industries,
数字经济，
and develop digital economy.
要加大基础
We
研
should
究和应用
increase the
技术
input in basic research and applied basic research
发挥深
and
圳
give a full play to Shenzhen's advantage in industrial academic research synergy
创新
to take initiative in integrating with global innovation
要
network.
对标国际一流水平，
We will benchmark with global first-class standards,
金融、研发、
develop finance,
设计、
R&D,
会计、
design, accounting, law, conference and exhibition, and other modern tertiary industry.
提升服务业发展能级和竞争力。
Also, we need to strengthen our
要实施更加
competence or
开放
capacity
的
level.
人才政策，
We will implement more open
引进培
talent
养
policy to
具有
attract
国际水平的
world-class strategic science and technology
科
talents,
技领军人才、
leading science and technology talents,
青年科技人才、
youth science and technology
高
talents,
水平创新团队，
and high-level
聚
innovation
天下
talent
英
teams
才而用之。
to leverage global brain power.
第二，
Second,
与时俱进，全面深化
comprehensively deepen reform in line with the times.
改革永远在路上，
The road of reform
改
is
革
never
之路无
ending.
坦途。
The road of reform is never smooth.
当前改革又到了一个新的
Currently,
历史关口，
reform is at a new historical
很多
juncture,
都是前所未有的新问题。
with many unprecedented
最
challenges
近改革的
emerging.
复杂程度
So, the complexity, sensitivity, and difficulty of pushing forward reform are no smaller than 4 decades ago.
必须以更大的政治勇
Therefore,
气和
we
智慧
must, with greater political courage and wisdom,
摸着石头
stick
过
to the
河
combination of
和加强
crossing the river
底层
while
设计
filling stone
相结
and
合，
strengthening top-level design.
不失时机，提技不稳，
We will deepen the reform in crucial areas and key links with the right
更
timing.
加注重改革的系统性、
We will pay more attention
协
to
同性，
the systematic, holistic, and coordinated effects of the reform, so that to enhance the comprehensive effect of the reform.
Through in-depth research, the CBC Central Committee has decided to take the 40th anniversary of the establishment of the special economic zones as an opportunity to support the comprehensive reform pilot in Shenzhen, vest Shenzhen with more independent power in reforms in key areas and critical links through lists of batch authorizations, and launch 27 reform measures and the first batch of 40 authorization items. Shenzhen Special Economic Zone should shoulder its responsibilities, firmly follow the right direction, emancipate people's minds, and carry the essence of socialism with Chinese characteristics and innovate. The city should introduce a series of major reform measures in key areas and achieve a group of major replicable results in institutional innovation. We should focus on solving real problems, facing high-quality development, address the needs for developing a higher-level socialist market economic system, plan for strategic and defining reforms, push forward creative and pioneering reforms so as to pilot and pioneer in making improvements in key areas, such as a market-oriented vector distribution mechanism, an integrated development mechanism for innovation chains and industrial chains, a market-oriented, law-based and internationalized business environment, a high-level open economic system, a supply system for livelihood services, a governance mechanism for ecological environment and urban spaces, etc. The city should optimize government management and services, implement the mechanisms of power list, responsibility list, and negative list in a comprehensive manner, and step up the formation of a close yet clean relationship between the government and businesses. We should also further galvanize and promote the entrepreneurship spirit, protect the legitimate rights and interests of entrepreneurs, property rights, as well as intellectual property rights in accordance with the law, so as to motivate entrepreneurs to start up and develop their businesses. Third, we should strive to pioneer and further open up in a comprehensive manner. Currently, the world economy is confronted with complicated challenges. By no means should we be stopped by the reversing trends and tides. We should choose the right side of the history to unswervingly further open up in a comprehensive manner, press ahead with developing an open world economy, and push forward the building of the community of a shared future for mankind. The new development pattern is not a closed domestic cycle, but an open domestic and international dual cycle. We should optimize and upgrade our production, distribution, circulation, and consumption systems, strengthen domestic economic connections, and enhance the economic intensity, improve the capabilities of smoothing the domestic cycle and connecting the international and domestic dual cycle, ramp up the institutional opening up of rules and standards, and take the lead to build a new open economic system at a higher level. We should explore more flexible policy systems and scientific management regimes in domestic and international trade, investment and financing, fiscal and taxation policy, financial innovation, entry and exit policy, etc., so as to enhance multi-layered and wide-ranging pragmatic cooperation. With the Belt and Road countries and regions. The more we open up, the more we should pay attention to security. We should strike a balance between the two important issues of development and security by improving our abilities in competition, open regulation, and risk control. Fourth, we should push forward the modernization of urban governance system and capabilities with innovative mentality. Over the past 40 years of high-speed development, Shenzhen's special economic zone has witnessed profound transformation in its urban space structures, ways of production, organizational models, and operational mechanism, presenting the city with numerous challenges, such as tremendous pressure on urban governance and lack of development spaces. We should foster an all-cycle management philosophy, speed up the modernization of our urban governance system and capabilities, so as to blaze a new trail of governance that matches the characteristics and patterns of mega cities. We should place emphasis on law-based governance, learn to address challenges in urban management with law-based mentality and approaches, making rule of law the consensus and basic norm of the society. Importance should be attached, adopting a scientific, meticulous, and intelligent approach. The city should leverage the advantages in the development of its information industry to promote innovation in urban management methods, models, and philosophies, so as to make the city operate in a smarter and more intelligent way. Fifth, we should put into practice the people-oriented development philosophy with concrete actions. The root and foundation of the Communist Party of China lie in the people, whose aspirations for a better life have set the goal for our endeavors. The starting point and focus of the reform and development of the special economic zones should be based on that goal as well. Our people know best whether they are living a good life or not. We should start with recurrent problems that our people are most concerned about and feel most strongly about. Introduce more reform and innovation measures to tackle problems in employment, education, healthcare, social security, housing, elderly care, food safety, ecological environment, public security, among others, one by one, in a bid to offer a higher sense of accomplishment, more endurable happiness, and better guaranteed security to the people. We should respect the innovation initiative of the people and continuously draw on their innovation and creativity in the development of the special economic zones. We should prioritize balanced development, endeavor to provide the community level with more access to public services, construct a premium and balanced public service system, and build a universal and sustainable social security system. We should incessantly conduct normalized epidemic prevention and control and draw on past experience to improve our weaknesses in public health.
Sixth, we should vigorously deepen the development of the Guangdong, Hong Kong, Macau Greater Bay Area. The Greater Bay Area is a major development strategy of the country, with Shenzhen being an important engine in its development. We should seize the major historical opportunities in the development of the Greater Bay Area and promote the alignment of economic rules and institutions of Guangdong, Hong Kong, and Macau, accelerate the development of intercity railways in the Greater Bay Area to facilitate the efficient and convenient flow of personnel, goods, and other factors, and enhance the integration of the markets. We should fully deepen reform and opening up of the Qianhai Shenzhen-Hong Kong Modern Service Industry Cooperation Zone, plan and execute well the construction of Shenzhen-Hong Kong Science and Technological Innovation Zone in Lok Ma Chau Loop, and speed up the construction of Hengqin, Guangdong, Macau In-Depth Cooperation Zone. We should leverage the construction of the pilot launching area of Comprehensive National Science Center in the Greater Bay Area to enhance synergy and coordination with resources of innovation in Hong Kong and Macau. We should also continue to encourage and guide our compatriots in Hong Kong, Macau, and Taiwan, as well as overseas Chinese, to play their important roles in investment, entrepreneurship, and two-way openness, so that they can make new contribution to the development of the special economic zones. We should also fully utilize the important platform of Guangdong Hong Kong Macau Cooperation to attract more young people from Hong Kong and Macau to study, work, and live in the mainland. This will help boost extensive exchanges, comprehensive communication between youth in Guangdong, Hong Kong, and Macau, and increase their sense of belonging to the motherland. Relevant departments of the CPC Central Committee and the central government should work together to comprehend the strategic intention of the CPC Central Committee and give full support to the reform and development work of Shenzhen and other special economic zones, following the requirement of promoting the five-sphered integrated plan and the four-pronged strategy. This department should support special economic zones in deepening reform and opening up, engaging in cutting-edge scientific and technological innovation, developing strategic emerging industries, fostering high-level opening up, strengthening the development of democratic rules of law, enhancing the building of eco-civilization, strengthening socialist spiritual civilization, increasing the support and betterment of people's livelihood, reforming and innovating social governance, improving the building of ecological civilization, and other work, so that we could provide scientific guide and strong support to the reform and development of the special economic zones in the new era. Ladies and gentlemen and comrades, the blossom of a single flower cannot represent spring. Only the blossom of 100 flowers signals the arrival of spring. We have unswervingly upheld the opening up principle, featuring mutual benefits and win-win, which means we cannot only garner development momentum from the world.
经济特区建设40年的实践
We should also make sure that
离不
China's
开
development
世
benefits
界
the
各国
world.
的
The practice of special economic zones in the
也为
past
各
4
国创
decades
造了
cannot
广
have
阔
been
的
completed
发展空间
without the joint participation from
分享了
countries around the world.
发展力，
It also has created a room
欢迎
for
世界各
development
国
and shared
更多的
dividends
参与
with different
中国
countries.
经济特区
So
的
China welcomes countries of the
改革开放发展。
world to take more part in the reform and
构
opening
建
up
共商共建
and
共
development
享
of our
共赢
special
的
economic
新
zone
格局。
and build a new landscape based on joint consultation, joint development, mutual benefit, and win-win results.
Ladies 女士们、先生们、同志们，
and gentlemen, comrades,
经济特区处于改革开放的最前沿，
special economic zones are at the
加强
forefront
党
of
的
the
全
reform
面
and
领
opening
导
up
和党的建设，
and bear high requirements on strengthening
更高要求。
the overall leadership and party building of the CPC.
要深入贯彻新时代
We
党的
should
建
fully
设
implement the new overall requirement on party building
以
in
改
a
革
new
创
era.
新精神
With a spirit
在加强
of
党的
reform
全面
and
领导
innovation,
和党的建设方面率先示范，
Shenzhen serves
扩大基层
as
党的
a
组织覆
pilot
盖
demonstration
和
in
工作。
strengthening the overall leadership and party
广
building
大
of
的党员
CPC
干部
and expand
要
the
坚定
coverage
影响
of
信念
primary party organizations.
更新知
All
识观
party
念，
members and cadres
掌握
should
过硬
reaffirm
本
their
领
ideals and convictions,
自觉站在党和国家
replenish their
大
knowledge
局
and
上想问
concepts,
题、办事情，
master solid skills, and voluntarily plan and execute their work with a whole picture of the
要
party
建
and
立
country
健
in
全
mind.
激励机制，
We need to establish an
推动
improved
形
and
成
incentive
能者上
mechanism,
优者奖，
channeling it
庸者下，
towards the right
劣
direction
者
of
汰的政治
promoting the
导向，
capable and demoting the incapable,
为改革者负责，
rewarding the outstanding and
为
eliminating
担
the
当者担
underperforming.
当，激发
This
党员干
mechanism
部干事
should also
创业
serve
的
as
热
a
情
safety
和劲
net
头，
for those who reform and assume
要持之以恒，
responsibilities,
正风肃纪，
so as to boost
坚
the
定不移
passion
惩治
and
腐败，
momentum of party members
坚
and
决
cadres
反
to
对
work.
形式主义，
We need to relentlessly clear the
营造
party
风
with
平
strong
气正的
discipline
良
and
好
crack
政治
down
生态。
corruption. Stand strong against formalism, bureaucracy, and nurture a clean political ecosystem.
“中国特色社会主义
Socialism with Chinese
是物质
characteristics
文明和精神文明全面发展的社会主义。
going hand in
经济
hand
特区
with
要坚持
material
两手抓，
civilization and
两手
spiritual
抓紧
civilization.
在物质文明建设
So we should
和
give
精神文明建
equal
设上
importance
都要
to
交出
material civilization
优异
and
大
spiritual civilization and achieve
要
outstanding
加强
results.
理想信
We
念教
should
育，
strengthen the education on
培育和践
ideals
行
and convictions,
社会主义核
cultivate
心
and
价值观
exercise the socialist core values,
深化中
deepen
国特
the
色社会主义
publicity
和
and
中国梦
education on the socialism with Chinese characteristics and Chinese
教
dream.
育引导广大干部群众，
We
特别是
should
青少年
educate and guide officials
坚
and
信
general public, in
中
particularly
国特色社
the
会
in
主义
particular the youth
Oh,
to consolidate their confidence in the path,
理论自信、
the theory,
制度自
the
信、
institution,
文化自信，
and the culture of socialism with Chinese characteristics.
要弘扬以爱国主义为核心的
We need to
民族精
promote
神
the national
和
spirit
以改革
centered
创新为
on
核心的
patriotism
时
and the
代
spirit of the times centered on reform
继
and
续发
innovation.
扬
Continue to pass on the spirit of special economic zones featuring enterprising,
埋头苦干的
pioneering,
特区精神，
and industrious,
激励干部群众
and encourage the
勇
general
当
public
新时代的，
to be the trailblazers of the new eras.
要深入开展
We need
群众
to
性
extensively carry
精
out
神文明
spiritual
创建
civilization building activities among the general
广
public,
泛开展社
carry
会
out
公德、
education
职业道德、家庭
social
美德
morality, work ethics,
个人品德
family
教育
virtues, and individual
不断提升
integrity,
人民
so
文
as
明
to
素养
constantly increase the culture
和
attainment
社会
and social
文明程度。
civilization.
要加强
We need to build
公共文化设
more
施建设、
culture infrastructure
推动
for public use
文化产业
and
高质量
advance
发展，
the high-quality development of
更好
culture
满足
industries
人
to
民
better
精
meet
神文化生活
people's new
新期
expectation
待。
on culture life.
女士们、先生们、同志们，
Ladies, gentlemen, and comrades,
40载波澜壮阔，
with the glory journey of the past 4 decades
春
behind
运
us,
奋进，
the new road ahead is more
经济
aspiring.
特区的沧桑巨变，
The great changes taken place in the special economic zones are derived from the great endeavors and hard efforts of generation of special economic
在
zone
新起点
builders.
上，
At the new
经
starting
济特
point,
区
the people of the
广大
special
干部群众
economic zones
要坚定不移
unswervingly
贯彻落实
implement
党中央
the
决策部署，
decision and
永
deployment
保
of the CPC Central
创的精神
Committee,
创的
maintain the
进
spirit
步，
of pioneering,
干的作
the
风，
momentum of
努
innovating,
力续写
the approach of
更
hard
多
working, and strive
春
to
天的故事，
write more stories of
努
the
力
spring
创造
and create
让世界刮目
new
相
and
看的
greater miracles
新的
that
更
amaze
大奇
the
迹。
world.